Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda.
Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta
श्री
Vrinda.
चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
Jai
श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 4, Srila Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. We were reading about the Annakuta festival, which was performed, organized under the guidance of Srila Madhavendra Puri. So yesterday we read that Srila Madhavendra Puri had instructed all the Brahmanas who cooked for Gopal. He instructed them to serve prasadam to everyone, whether young or old. And then they started serving prasadam and they fed the Brahmanas and Brahmanis first. So, amongst the people who came to witness this festival were also people from other villages, not just from Govardhan, but there were people from the neighboring villages. And they all honored this prasadam. And when they saw this whole festival, they saw Gopal and they saw the size of this festival, right? How much prasadam was being served out. They actually remembered the original Annakut festival, Govardhan Puja, following Govardhan Puja, the original Annakut festival, which was held 5,000 years ago. They were all reminded of that. That's what we read yesterday. Seeing the influence of Madhavendra Puri, all the people gathered there were struck with wonder. Right. Seeing this festival, they were amazed. And all this was done in one day. The whole festival was arranged in one day. So how exalted is Madhavendra Puri? They were amazed at his power, at his influence, and seeing the festival, the size of the festival. And they all remembered the festival of Annakut, which was performed during Krishna's time. So the next verse. So there was a long purport for that. Yesterday we read. Oh, yeah. So it was just the description of how this Govardhan Puja is celebrated. Yeah, that's the description of that verse. And also the next one, I think we read, right? All the Brahmanas present on that occasion were initiated by Madhavendra Puri into the Vaishnav cult, and Madhavendra Puri engaged them in different types of service. Yes. So whoever had attended that festival, or in that village especially, all the Brahmanas were initiated into Vaishnava cult. That means they were all given Vaishnava mantra. So if you remember, Srila Prabhupada said that who is a Brahmana, first of all, right? Shat karma nipuno vipra. So we went into the details of what are the activities of a Brahmana. Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigra. So much qualification is required to be a Brahmana. And then for it requires a Brahmana to do worshipping activities, worshipping demigods or worshipping, right? Especially worshipping activities and performing different Vedic rituals, samskaras like that. But for someone to worship Lord Vishnu, Vishnu Murti, simply being a Brahmana is not sufficient. In addition to being a Brahmana, he has to be a Vaishnava. Otherwise, he cannot worship Lord Vishnu. And what to speak of Krishna? Same, Vishnu, Krishna. So therefore, Madhavendra Puri first initiated that Brahmana, all the Brahmanas that were there, into Vaishnava mantra, and then he engaged them in various services of Gopal, like that. And also, then how do you worship? How did Madhavendra Puri worship the deities? What was the method? First of all, the deity must be served very elaborately, right? Gorgeously, with lots of, flowers and whatever you have, very gorgeously the deity must be worshipped. And there should be at least 5 to 6 pujaris dedicated to the service of the deity, starting at 4 in the morning until 10 at night. Continuously, services are rendered to the deity. At least six artis are performed. So many bhoga offerings are made. Every day the deity is bathed and dressed, right? Fresh flowers, nice jewelry, like that, every day. And kirtan is performed. That's important, right? In front of deity, kirtan is performed, and this attracts the people in general, because the whole idea of this deity worship is to awaken Krishna consciousness in the hearts of the people who are all conditioned souls, now forgotten souls. So they'll be attracted to this. They will come, and when they see Krishna, their dormant Krishna consciousness will be awakened. And there's kirtan, and you're feeding the deity so many times, so many bhoga offerings, right? So opulently you're worshipping. It's not that all that is offered is meant for the pujaris. No, all that is distributed. The food, whatever is offered to the Lord, it is distributed amongst the people. This is the way of worship shown by Madhavendra Puri, and Srila Prabhupada said this is the footsteps in which our Krishna consciousness uh, movement also, this is in the footsteps of Madhavendra Puri, this whole Gaudiya line actually. So specifically the Hare Krishna movement is also carrying out their devotional activities following the example set by Madhavendra Puri. Worshipping the deity gorgeously, offering so many offerings to the deity, and then distributing sumptuous prasadam to the people. That's the method. Our acharyas. So we see that example here in this pastime. Text 88. पुनः दिन शेष प्रभुरा कोराइला उत्थान किछु भोगा लगाइला कराइला jalapana. So this is just the first day, right? This festival, the whole thing just happened in one day. So does that mean that After the first day, then everyone just goes back home, and what will happen to Gopal? His service has to be continued, right? Why this is not going back to the meeting? Okay, 1 second. So, um, so the next day again the worship has to continue. Punaha dina sheshe prabhura koraila utthana. Uh, so now the night before we saw also how they made a bed for Gopal and then covered that bed on all four sides with straw mats, and also there was a roof made of straw mat, so the Lord will have his privacy to take rest at night. So now, after the Lord wakes up, again there has to be services, right? Punaha dina sheshe prabhura koraila utthana kichu bhoga lagaila karaila jalapana. So you have to wake the Lord up and then offer him something, some jalpan, right? Some water, some bhoga to eat, like that. After taking rest, the deity must be awakened at the end of the day. Okay. So it says end of the day. So the offering was made in the afternoon, right? Noon, Rajbhog. So then again, you wake him up at 4 o'clock, 4:30, like that, p.m. After taking rest, the deity must be awakened at the end of the day, and immediately some food and some water must be offered to him. Purport: this offering is called Vaikali Bhog, food offered at the end of the day, the 4:30 offering. You give some fruits, and in ISKCON we give cake and cookies. Sweets. ISKCON means in the West. So here fruits are offered primarily, and also some snacks. Text 89. Gopala prakata hoilo deshe shabda hoilo asha pasha gramera loka dekhite ailo. So Gopal has manifested himself, he has appeared, and this word spread around, right? That Gopal has appeared in Govardhan, Gopal has appeared in Govardhan. So all the nearby villages, the people from the nearby villages, when they heard this, that Gopal has manifested, they all came to see Gopal. When it was advertised throughout the country that Lord Gopal had appeared atop Govardhan Hill, all the people from neighboring villages came to see the deity. एक एक दिन एक एक ग्रामे लोइलो मागिया अन्नकूटा कोरे सबे हर्षिता होया. So Govardhan Puja is normally one day, right? So there is a particular day when this Govardhan Puja was performed. But Srila Madhavendra Puri's Annakut festival was not just one day. Everyone was, first of all, when they saw that festival, so the whole festival was arranged by the village of Govardhan, the residents of Govardhan. They brought everything to worship their Lord. And nearby village people also came to see. Now they got a desire. We also want to serve the Lord. We also want to perform Annakut ceremony. So each village would sponsor a festival, right? After the first day, the second day, again there would be another Annakut festival sponsored by one particular village. So they would bring everything that is there in that village, and then they will cook. And then there's a, at least I think they will bring all the bhoga. The pujaris are already here. Srila Madhavendra Puri had already initiated them, right, to serve Gopal. So the pujaris are there, cooks are there. So they would get all the ingredients, right, the neighboring villages. And then there would be another Annakut festival, more distribution of prasadam. And then the next village. So third day will be another Annakut festival offered by another village. Like this, Annakut festival was going on for several days, one after another. So, Ekeka Dina, Ekeka Grame. Each day, one village. Loila Magya, they would come and ask, please, we want to offer Annakut festival. Annakuta Kore Sabe Harishita Hoya. And then when they do that, after finishing, they would become so happy, so pleased, so blissful. One village after another was pleased to beg Madhavendra Puri to allot them one day to perform the Annakut ceremony. Thus, day after day, the Annakut ceremony was performed for some time. So several days the Annakut ceremony was going on, every single day. Ratri kale ठाकुरे koraiya shayana puri gosai koilo kichu gavya bhojana. And at night, again the Lord has to be offered something, right? Dinner prasadam, I mean bhoga. So Ratri Kale Thakurere Koraiya Shayana. And then after that, he takes rest. Puri Gosai Koilo Kichu Gavya Bhojana. Of course. At night, not that at night dinner bhoga is offered, but at night the Lord is put to rest. Of course, some bhoga is offered at night also before going to bed. Hot milk is given, sweet rice, and like that. So, but finally the Lord is put to rest. So this whole thing is being done under the supervision, under the guidance of Madhavendra Puri. So he's there constantly throughout the day, guiding the cooks, the servers, and he's personally offering to the deity. He's giving arati, he's putting the Lord to rest, waking him up, again giving him bhoga. He's doing all this. Or he's engaging the pujaris and he's overseeing everything. And finally, when the Lord is put to rest at night, then some, he'll get some rest. So then he'll eat. After the Lord is put to rest at night, then Madhavendra Puri would eat. So Sri Madhavendra Puri did not eat anything. He did not eat anything throughout the day. All these offerings are going on to the Lord. He didn't eat anything. But at night, after laying the deity down to rest, he took a milk preparation. That's it. So we already saw he wouldn't even beg anyone for anything to eat, isn't it? If somebody on their own brought some milk, he would drink. Otherwise, for days together, he would just fast. So now also when he's worshipping Gopal deity, it's not that, oh, now there's so much prasadam, so now I can eat. Earlier I didn't have, so I was not eating. Now there is so much prasad, so I can eat. Is that the mood? No, he wouldn't eat because his mood is just to serve Gopal, serve the Lord, please the Lord, like that. And then after everything, at night, he would just take some milk preparation, maybe some sandesh or maybe some milk or something like that. Not a full meal. He would just take a milk preparation at night, and all day, nothing. He wouldn't eat anything, and he would be fully engaged in serving Gopal. Sri Madhavendra Puri did not eat anything throughout the day, but at night, after laying the deity down to rest, he took a milk preparation. Pratah kale punah taiche korila sevana anna loya ekagramera aila loka gana. By the way, right, we may say, yeah, whenever there is a big festival, we don't even think of eating, Mataji. All day we are so busy. Yeah, that's true. But this is not just one day. In the case of Madhavendra Puri, day after day, every day, I don't know for how long it went on, right? At least a month, I think. Every single day, Annakut festival. No eating all day, and at night, little bit of some milk preparation, maybe some buttermilk or something. Something at night, little bit, a small milk preparation. That's it. Day after day. So again, and in the morning when he would wake up, it's time to wake up the Lord again. And another village is ready with their Bhoga offerings. Another Annakut festival. प्रातःकाले पुनः तैचे कोरिला सेवना anna loya ekagramera aila loka gana. The next morning, the rendering of service to the deity began again, and people from one village arrived with all kinds of food grains. So once again, cooking, offering. Anna घृता दधि दुग्धा ग्रामे जत छिलो gopalera age loka aniya dharilo. So whatever rice or grains, right, rice, dal, any type of grains, whatever grains, ghrita, ghee, dadhi, yogurt, dugdha, milk, right, whatever milk, yogurt, ghee and grains any village, one particular village had, they brought everything that they had. Everything in every home, yogurt, milk, ghee, and grains, whatever they had, they just brought it. In the whole village, whatever there was, grame jata chilo. Gopalera age loka aniya dharilo. Carrying it, they brought it in front of Gopal. The inhabitants of the village brought to the deity of Gopal as much food grains, ghee, yogurt, and milk as they had in their village. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Anna, Ghrita, Dadhi, and Dugdha are food grains. Ghee, yogurt, and milk. So, Anna, Ghrita, Dadhi, and Dugdha means food grains, ghee, yogurt, and milk. Actually, these are the basis of all food. Vegetables and fruits are subsidiary. I heard this in Srila Prabhupada's lecture also. Srila Prabhupada said, actually, we don't need vegetables and fruits. That's extra. We don't need means for our survival. If we simply had grains and milk, we are fine. We can survive. We can live. Right? Even if we didn't have vegetables and fruits, it's not that we are going to die. If we only had grains like khichdi, let's say, dal and rice, right? You can just survive with that. So actually, these are the basis of all food. Grains, yogurt, milk, and ghee. So of course, ghee and yogurt also comes from milk. So if you have milk and grains, that's the basis. Vegetables and fruits are subsidiary, secondary, extra. Hundreds and thousands of preparations can be made out of grains, vegetables, ghee, milk, and yogurt. The food offered to Gopal in the Annakut ceremony contained only these 5 ingredients. Of course, here Srila Prabhupada also mentioned vegetables. So, including vegetables, 5 ingredients. Only demoniac people are attracted to other types of food, which we will not even mention in this connection. You know what it is. We should understand that in order to prepare nutritious food, we require only grains, ghee, yogurt, and milk. We cannot offer anything else to the deity. The Vaishnava, the perfect human being, does not accept anything not offered to the deity. So, this is also important. We don't offer anything to the deity which is not these, and that also means we personally don't eat anything which is not offered to the deity, also. We don't, if you're right, if you're aspiring to be Vaishnavas, a perfect human being does not accept anything not offered to the deity. People are But from the Vedic scriptures, we find that if there are sufficient cows and grains, the entire food problem is solved. Cows and grains, right? Krishi Goraksha. If you do agriculture, you get grains, and Goraksha, you get milk, yogurt, ghee, butter. So, uh, from the Vedic scriptures, we find that if there are sufficient cows and grains, the entire food problem is solved. The Vaishyas, people engaged in agriculture and commerce, are therefore recommended in the Bhagavad Gita to produce grains. Right. The Vaishyas are recommended in Bhagavad Gita to produce grains and give protection to cows. Cows are the most important animal because they produce the miracle food milk from which we can prepare ghee and yogurt. Just see, pay attention. On just this one point, Srila Prabhupada is writing a long purport, right? If it were not meant, if it was just about talking about history, why would Srila Prabhupada take so much pain to stress on this point, not just this one purport? If you are attentive when we read the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see again and again this point is being stressed, right? Living our lives according to Vedic injunctions. The perfection of human civilization depends on Krishna consciousness, which recommends deity worship. Preparations made from vegetables, grains, milk, ghee, and yogurt are offered to the deity and then distributed. Here we can see the difference between the East and the West. The people who came to see the deity of Gopal brought all kinds of food to offer to the deity, to offer the deity. They brought all the food they had in stock, not just a little bit, right? So if I have so much at home, I'll give a little bit, go and offer a little bit to the deity. No, but in the case of these devotees of Raja, They brought all the food they had in stock and they came before the deity, not only to accept prasadam for themselves, but to distribute to others. So if we go to temple simply to, oh, we get some prasadam, which is wonderful, right? Wanting to take Krishna's prasadam is wonderful. That is also devotional service. But a higher principle is not about what I can take, but about what I can offer to the Lord. And not just some little thing, but everything I have, let me offer to the Lord. This is Brajbasi spirit. Srila Prabhupada is saying they brought all the food they had in stock and they came before the deity not only to accept prasadam for themselves, but to distribute it to others. Right? So they brought so that it can be distributed to everyone else. The Krishna consciousness movement vigorously approves this practice of preparing food, offering it to the deity, and distributing it to the general population. See, Srila Prabhupada uses the word vigorously approves this practice of offering to the deity and then distributing it to the general population. So, what is the benefit of eating prasadam? Once you get a taste for prasadam, you will lose your taste for other foods which are not mentionable here, right? So this activity should be extended, this distribution of prasadam, this activity should be extended universally to stop sinful eating habits as well as other behavior befitting only demons. Of course, not just eating habits, but all other sinful activities will stop. A demoniac civilization will never bring peace within the world. Since eating is the first necessity in human society, those engaged in solving the problems of preparing and distributing food huh? The problems of preparing and distributing food should take lessons from Madhavendra Puri and execute the Annakut ceremony. I'll read that line again. Since eating is the first necessity in human society, those engaged in solving the problems of preparing and distributing food should take lessons from Madhavendra Puri and execute the Annakut ceremony. Okay. So, well, preparing food and distributing food, if you think it is a problem, right, it takes so much organization and so much money and so on and so forth, right, so much manpower to do this, it's too much hassle. If people are thinking like that, so those engaged in solving the problems, so you want to solve those problems, not that it is difficult. Of course it is, it needs manpower, it needs money, it needs uh, organization. And if people are engaged in this activity of distributing prasadam and they're thinking, how can we do it efficiently? We want to do this, we are convinced that we want to do this, but we don't know how to do it efficiently. Srila Prabhupada is saying you should learn. Take example from Madhavendra Puri. The way he did it, you repeat the same thing, then it will be successful. You do Annakut ceremony, Annakut festival, like Srila Madhavendra Puri. Since eating is the first necessity in human society, those engaged in solving the problems of preparing and distributing food should take lessons from Madhavendra Puri and execute the Annakut ceremony. When the people take to eating only prasadam offered to the deity, all the demons will be turned into Vaishnavas. When the people are Krishna conscious, naturally the government will be so also, right? Because especially ours is government made of the people, by the people, for the people. So if all the people are made Krishna conscious, then the government will naturally be Krishna conscious also. And how can people become Krishna conscious? By eating only prasadam which is offered to the deity. A Krishna conscious man is always very liberal, well wisher of everyone. He is a liberal well wisher of everyone. Suhridam. He is a suhrid, right? He is a well wisher of everyone. When such men head the government, Now all people have become Krishna conscious by eating only prasadam. And when one of them becomes a government head, and the quality, so by eating prasad, if he becomes Krishna conscious, the quality of Krishna conscious man is he's a well wisher of everyone. When he becomes the government head, he becomes a leader, then he will naturally be concerned about the well being of everyone. He won't be concerned about exploiting, taking the money for himself, right? Because he's Krishna conscious, he will be concerned about everyone else's well being. When such men head the government, the people will certainly be sinless. And also, he will guide everyone else on the path of Krishna consciousness. So, no one will, he will not allow slaughterhouses, he will not allow liquor shops, no bars and pubs and nightclubs when a Krishna conscious person becomes a leader, no brothels. So, there won't be any sinful activity if a Krishna conscious person becomes the head of the state. When such men head the government, the people will certainly be sinless. They will no longer be disturbing demons. It is then and then only that a peaceful condition can prevail. So, how can we have a peaceful condition in society? By performing Annakud festival and feeding everyone Krishna Prasadam and making sure that people eat only Krishna Prasadam, not anything else. You know this, right? In Gainesville, Florida, and I think they do it in other places also, probably. But students, they don't get time to cook. So they arranged, it's going on for many years, maybe decades also now, this prasadam program. So every single day, devotees, they cook a meal. I think it's like a simple meal, but the same thing every day, like a plate of prasad at a very, very nominal, reasonable price, like $5 or something, which even students can afford. A nice hot prasadam for everyone. And anyone will come because, first of all, it is nice hot prasad like rice, dal, sabji, like that. Anybody will come to take that. And also, it's not very costly. So there are many people you will hear, like very successful people in society now, famous people. In their younger days, right, when they were like students, they would go every day and eat prasadam at the Krishna, uh, I think it's called the Krishna House, or some lunch program, some Krishna lunch program they have. Every day they go and they eat there. They would eat. So this is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. By eating only Krishna Prasad, what happens is the person will give up all his sinful activities. He will become Krishna conscious. This is the way to make the whole society Krishna conscious. And gradually, when the entire society becomes so, this is just one program. If such programs are going on everywhere, then more and more people will turn to Krishna consciousness. Their consciousness will be transformed to Krishna consciousness. And then the leaders, if the people are Krishna conscious, the leaders will also become Krishna conscious, especially now, even more so, because the leader is elected from the people. The people will elect a Krishna conscious person. If they are Krishna conscious themselves, they would want another Krishna conscious person. And if a Krishna conscious person becomes a leader, what is the quality of a Krishna conscious person? He is the well wisher of everyone. So he will be working towards the well being of everyone. So there won't be any more sinful activity in society, and there will be no disturbances, right? No crime, no violence, and the society will be peaceful. So, therefore, Krishna consciousness is the solution to all problems, and this prasadam distribution is very, very effective. So, like that. So, I'll stop here today. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna. I'll see you tomorrow.